Everest these days is looking a little crowded. This is no longer an ultimate challenge. This is a comfort zone. It's no longer good enough to be on the slopes of Everest. You're going to have to move forward from that success and seek out, literally, new frontiers. So as a climber, how do you do that? Nanga Parbat, the 9th highest mountain in the world, the Mazeno Ridge. It had never been climbed, mostly because it's 5 kilometers long at 7,000 meters. There's a reason it hadn't been climbed. But that doesn't mean that it's not possible. A new route on an 8,000-meter peak. That's the modern cutting edge of mountaineering.
So, high, long, complicated, deep snow. We think we understand what the problems are. What is our solution? Why are we going to be any different from everybody else who's tried this? We think 6 days to the summit, 2 days in reserve, 2 days for the descent, maximum 10 days, and we'll be down in a local village drinking beer and eating chips. It's a lovely plan. It bears no resemblance to what's about to happen.
And if you make the climb safer by carrying more equipment, you make it more dangerous because you're slower and you spend more time in the danger zone. So, as we sit there with piles of food, piles of gas, piles of safety gear, and these little rucksacks that we have to pack, we're faced with this question. What is more important? Number one, to carry ample supplies of food and gas and medical gear. And number two, to go light so that we can move fast. Get up there and get out again. You're quite the risk takers for a company that's all about being safe.
We are moving forward. And it is a magnificent piece of climbing. I mean, this ridge undulates like the back of a dragon. And you've got these frozen waves of snow hanging off it. And when we look at the risks of this, we think about falling, we think about avalanches, maybe snowstorms. But honestly, most of the things that go wrong are triggered by us.
And it seems easier to climb down to where he is and then traverse round to the col. 2 of our team dig themselves a cave under the rock. That's Rick's leg. He's digging away. And 2 of them have to simply sit on that ledge through the night. We are at 7,000 meters in the Himalaya, sitting on a ledge. It is not a good night. But just straight off the top of your heads, who are the better climbers? Number 1 for Sherpas, number 2 for Westerners. Ah, very interesting. This is going to turn into one of the key problems. There are different kinds of ability on a climb. We have the Sherpas who are physically exceedingly strong, and strength is very obvious. They go up and down exactly the same climb on exactly the same mountain year after year. Their expertise is deep, but it is limited. Western climbers, good ones, are much better strategic climbers than Sherpas are. There are different kinds of experience in a team, and sometimes some of them are more obvious, like the Sherpa's strengths, and some of them are more easily overlooked, like the strategic knowledge that points your team in the right direction.
This is as far as any climbing team has ever gone. But it's taken 9 days. We were supposed to be on the way down by now. We're telling ourselves that we're almost there. We want to be almost there. We need to push on. There's so little food left. We've got to get it finished.
Are we almost there? I'm astonished at how many of you said yes, actually. But the thing is, we are seriously telling ourselves we're almost there. And we are telling ourselves stories. Stories that no longer match the reality. They match the plan, but the plan and the reality have parted ways.
And when the sun rises, we're standing on a summit. The Pakistan Himalayas spread out below us, the shadow of Nanga Parbat running over hundreds of mountains. It's magnificent. It's also not the right summit.
There is a 2-day climb to get off this mountain down a route we've never seen before. Some of us absolutely want to go home. Some of us think that there might still be a chance. We should take what we've learned from this failure and have one more go. A voting question for you. Should we, number 1, all go down and get off the mountain? Number 2, should we all try and get to the summit? Number 3, should we split the team? I'm actually impressed by how many of you are prepared to split the team. A lot of people seem to think that mountain climbing is this all or nothing game. And mountain climbers don't think like that. What we're trying to do is use our resources as strategically as possible. We decide to split the team. And this climb was sufficiently important that Rick and Sandy won a Piolet d'Or, the Golden Ice Axe. It's our equivalent of winning an Oscar. And what interests me is the things that went wrong, because we were right about the physical problems and we were right about our solution. But we got caught unawares by a set of intangible problems, the kind of things that are really hard to articulate. Have the vision to set ourselves the really ambitious goals, and then the courage to simply get out there and try and make it happen.